Hello, this is Artie Astor from B Sharp and C. So today I'm not going to scroll through YouTube and just find something randomly. I think what I want to do is just play a song that I just love. Play a song that I've seen a million times already. So this won't be like a reaction video. It's going to be Artie Astor just loving a song, but kind of at the same time introducing a song to people who might not be David Gilmour fans. Or if you are a David Gilmour fan, then just enjoying a song with you. This is the song On an Island featuring Crosby and Nash from Crosby, Stills and Nash. And yeah, let's just get right into it because I want to.
Remember that night, white steps in the moonlight. They walked you through empty playground, this ghost town.
First thing about this song that I just love is that it's in 3/4 timing. And I think that that's fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I just love how it is. It has songs that are in 3/4 timing, if they're done right, can have like an epic feel to them, an epic sound. And that is what I believe this has here. I love, love how Crosby and Nash come in just for the last portions of that verse, just for the last few words.
Steps in the moonlight. They walked you through empty playground, this ghost town. Children again on rusting swings, getting higher,
Oh, love that.
sharing
And I love that bell keyboard sound that's being played. It just sounds so dreamy. Love it, love it.
dream on an island. It felt right. We lay side by side.
So right there you have a lap steel guitar, which is the sound that you're hearing right now. I mean, that's why they're showing them. It's basically what David Gilmour was playing in the beginning of Dark Side of the Moon. And it has that real fluid flowing sound to it. It's so beautiful, kind of trippy. And then of course you have Richard Wright, who was still alive at the time here, playing that bell sound on the keyboard. Just adds that level of dreaminess to the song. And the fact that it's in 3/4 timing, the fact that Crosby and Nash are coming in right for for the last couple of words of each verse, it just adds weight. It gives the song a certain flow.
We lay side by side between the moon and the tide, mapping the stars for a while.
I love this part right here. Some people have a hard time when the instrumentation pulls away and a song becomes almost a cappella or just vocal, especially when you have such beautiful instrumentation like this. You have David Gilmour, you have the slide guitar with a lap steel guitar, you have Richard Wright doing what he's doing on the keyboard. I forget this drummer's name. David Gilmour fans are going to be like, "What the heck's wrong with you?" I forget the drummer's name, but good drumming, good everything. So when that pulls away and then you have a moment of just vocals, it kind of leaves a void in your soul and it creates tension. And it's almost a part of the song where you're like, I don't like this. I don't like this because the instrumentation was so good. But it just makes you like the instrumentation that much more when it comes back.
Let the night surround you halfway to
All right, so before we get into this guitar solo that David Gilmour is going to play, that wasn't completely a cappella. It's just that a lot of the instrumentation pulled back, and then you had an organ sound come up, the kick drum being played. There was a note being played on the downbeat, it seemed. I'll have to go back and listen. I don't know if it was just the downbeat, but there was a bass note being played. And of course, you had like this weird twang sound in the background that was probably the lap steel guitar. Um, just fantastic. It's a phenomenal way, especially because the listener is enjoying the instrumentation and wants the instrumentation back, but it got pulled away. Now, David Gilmour is going to come in with a guitar solo, but it's going to be the setup guitar solo. That's what I like to call it. A guitar solo that is not super dexterous, a guitar solo that is not super melodic. It's just kind of a filler guitar solo. It's almost a guitar solo to whet your appetite for the real guitar solo that's coming up. David Gilmour does it better than anybody, baby. Listen to this guitar. Just listen to the guitar solo, and then you tell me: is this really a super crazy melodic David Gilmour guitar solo that he's famous for? Okay, that guitar part right there, the one that comes in kind of screaming, is not David Gilmour. It is someone else. And if I took the time to research this beforehand, I would have his name, but I didn't. I love the bass player. That's Guy Pratt. He's really good. All right, now the song's going to go back into what it did in the beginning, which kind of relieves a little bit of that tension. And just, I won't go back because I don't want to make this video too long because the song is 7.5 minutes, but go back and listen to that guitar solo. It was not a bad guitar solo, but it's not one of those iconic David Gilmour guitar solos that kind of just reaches your heart because of how melodic it is and how well the note choice is. It was kind of just doing a few things out of the minor pentatonic scale, usually with a 2 added in there, which David Gilmour loves to do. Loves to play the minor pentatonic and add the 2, which is not part of the minor pentatonic. Um, it's just kind of bouncing around out of the minor pentatonic scale, kind of feeding off of the other guitar player a little bit. Nothing too crazy, nothing too melodic. There was nothing really to latch on to. You didn't walk away from that guitar solo humming anything, saying that was awesome. But then it goes back into the song. That's something about David Gilmour's writing that I think a lot of people don't always get, is that there is a ton, ton, a crap ton of tension. There's a lot of space and there's a lot of tension in a Pink Floyd song or in a David Gilmour composition because that is what he does. He likes to build up to things. Every song kind of has its own journey. If that makes sense.
Remember that night, the warmth and the laughter,
One, two, three.
candles burned, though the church was deserted. At dawn we went down through empty streets to the harbor.
Ah, that keyboard. Ah,
But they're here ever after.
so and it's almost like I think I'll have to go back and measure it, but from what my ear tells me, he adds a measure before he goes into this part. Now, this part here, there are no lyrics. In the last part, there were lyrics, but here there's none.
Let the night surround you. We're halfway to the stars. Ebb and flow, let it go. Feel her warmth beside you.
Vocal harmonizing is just, it's fantastic in this song. So you see there, it's just this is so great on so many levels because he does what he did with Pink Floyd. He plays that first guitar solo where you're kind of like, oh, this is nice. Like like listen to the song on the Turning Away. Listen to the song Learning to Fly, right? There are guitar solos before the main guitar solo that are like appetizers. They're there and they're solos, but you don't walk away with something stuck inside your soul. But this guitar solo here, this second guitar solo, really comes and hits you. Really comes and hits you because the first guitar solo left you with that appetite for something better. That's just such good writing. And it's really something that David Gilmour has mastered. Other artists and musicians and songwriters have done things that are similar. No one, in my opinion, no one does it better than Dave Gilmour. Now let's go back to the beginning of the song. So he's well, let's go to the first verse, okay? Hold on a second.
Remember that
First
night,
verse.
white steps in the moonlight. They walked here too, through empty playground, this ghost town. Children again,
It's the third
on
line
rustic
of this verse.
swings, getting higher,
Fourth stanza of the verse.
sharing a dream on an island. It felt right.
Now this part here.
We lay side
So a couple things there. He went an extra bar, right? So hold on a second. Let me see if he did.
children again, on rustic swings, getting higher, sharing a dream on an island. It felt right. We lay side by
So he adds an extra bar of 3 beats, right? Before he goes into this pre-chorus. So you're counting and you're like, when's the he adds an extra bar. Um, Such good writing.
felt right. We lay side by side.
And this one, he sings the pre-chorus in the after the first guitar solo. He goes back. He doesn't sing the pre-chorus. Right here. He doesn't sing the pre-chorus. So what does Dave Gilmour do? So I need to get this out there because I've watched a lot of documentaries about Pink Floyd. I've watched a lot of interviews with David Gilmour, and I've watched a lot of reaction videos about Dave Gilmour and reviews about Dave Gilmour and things like that. But as a songwriter and a musician, and as a fan of David Gilmour, there's something that I never really hear anyone else talk about. And I'm not saying that I'm unique or anything like that, but this song is a perfect example of everything that Dave Gilmour does that makes him stand out. You have this thing that he does where the song's in 3/4 timing. Not every song that he does, obviously, is in 3/4 timing. Most of his songs are in 4/4 timing, but he's not afraid to do something different. So he comes in 3/4 timing, he does the verses. The verses have beautiful instrumentation, and then he has this pre-chorus where the music changes a little bit, and then he has the chorus where everything kind of pulls back and it's almost a cappella. You feel as though something's missing, and he allows you to feel that way for about 25 seconds, 30 seconds, because he knows that tension can be relieved. You need to release the tension. And he does that with that guitar solo. But that's what's interesting is when the guitar solo comes in, that first guitar solo after that first chorus, it's not explosive. It relieves that tension, kind of, but not completely. Then he goes right back into the verses that he knows, because he's a great songwriter, he knows that those verses are what roped you in, the what pulled you in right from the beginning. So he goes back to those verses knowing that it's going to relieve whatever it is that you're feeling is missing from the song. Then the pre-chorus again, but he doesn't even sing it. Or I shouldn't say sing it. He doesn't have lyrics. He just la da 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 da, but there are no lyrics. And then that part again where the instrumentation pulls back and it's quasi a cappella, and then the guitar solo that comes in, and it's the one. It's the one, it's the apex of the song. All of that is by design. None of it is by accident. Even adding that bar before the pre-chorus, I think it is, right? Even adding that bar before the pre-chorus is a way that he can create tension. Nobody does that by accident. You do it on purpose. Dave Gilmour, on a regular basis, has a song structure and a way of arranging music that brings you on this ride where you love certain parts and other parts you're like, and you're still thinking about them, you're still feeling them, but then you go back to loving it again. And so it's like this roller coaster of tension and relieving tension, tension and relieving tension. That's something that David Gilmour does really well. And I know that Richard Wright has helped him with it over the years because Richard Wright, in his own right, is a really great songwriter. He just relinquished a lot of that to the other songwriters in the band. Earlier in the band, it was Sid Barrett, and then Roger Waters, and of course now David Gilmour. But Richard Wright on his own has so much to contribute. So between David Gilmour and Richard Wright, they create this atmosphere where you're constantly being lifted up and brought down, lifted up and brought down. It is a really nice way to write music. And you see that a lot in progressive music, but they do it in a way that is very, very spacious. There's a lot of space in a David Gilmour composition, and especially when he was with the band, there's a lot of space within a Pink Floyd song. And within that space, the listener is allowed to imagine things. It's not in your face all the time. It's not an overload of stimulus, right? Or stimuli. I don't know which one's plural, which one's singular. Anyways, but that is what they do. That is to me the what embodies a David Gilmour composition. And I can go on and on and on and on about so many other songs that he's written. But he doesn't. It's funny about David Gilmour because if you stop and think about it, he doesn't really rely on the traditional song structure. He has a lot of songs that have no bridge. It's kind of like verse, chorus, guitar part, verse, chorus, another guitar part, but it's kind of a bridge. It's a different type of guitar part. And then you have like chorus and then guitar solo, or just the guitar part that acts as a bridge moves in to the main guitar solo. He has songs that have no chorus. I mean, he wrote Childhood's End. Um, I don't know if that was on Obscured by Clouds. I don't remember the album it was on, but it's just verse, verse, guitar solo, verse, verse, guitar solo, verse, guitar solo. It's the strangest thing. There's no chorus. There's no bridge. There's no bridge. There's no chorus. It's just verses and guitar solos. Um, he breaks the mold. He breaks the mold, and to me, that is one of the best ways to write music. And he uses instrumentation as parts of songs, and there are stories within a David Gilmour song. It's funny. A David Gilmour song is almost like when you watch a movie, and when the movie's over, you say, "Wow, I liked that scene." Right when she caught her husband with that other girl, or right when they had that conversation in the submarine, that dialogue was awesome. Like a David Gilmour song can be broken down into parts. You can look at a David Gilmour song and say that acoustic guitar solo before the last verse and chorus was really something. And like the song High Hopes, when you look at the song High Hopes, it's structured in a certain way so that you have this weird acoustic guitar solo with like a military snare drum beat in the background. And the guitar solo kind of crescendos. It like goes up in the scale. It kind of climbs the scale a little bit. Um, and that's before, from what I understand, before the last. It might be, I don't know if there's a verse and a chorus or a chorus after that guitar solo, but then it goes into that pedal steel guitar solo on High Hopes that is just so insanely famous and that all Pink Floyd fans love. Um, Pink Floyd flan. But to me, that is what a David Gilmour song embodies. It has parts. It tells a story just with the instrumentation. Mark Knopfler did a lot of that as well with his songwriting, that there would be guitar parts within a song that, in and of themselves, are part of the song structure. They're not just there in the background, kind of adding to the song, but they themselves become a defining moment or a defining aspect of the song. And David Gilmour really does a good job of doing that. He can take a 1 minute part of a song that's like instrumentation or maybe something different. Maybe like in this song here, there was some vocals and harmonies and things like that. He can take a 1 minute part of a song and make that a section, like a chapter within the song. And that is really good songwriting, especially when you look at music today. You have 3.5 minutes of a song. It's a package that you sing over. And there might be little things in that song that you like, but nothing stands out as having its own, nothing stands out as being its own entity. But even within a David Gilmour song, there are parts of the song that become an entity in and of themselves. And I think that that is extremely difficult to do, but it's fun. It's fun when you're a songwriter to know that you've done that. That's what David Gilmour does. Anyways, I could talk forever about David Gilmour songwriting. This is Artie Astor from B Sharp and C. I'm not going to give this song a score. In fact, I want to stop giving songs scores that I already know really well. I don't think I should give a song that I love already a score. It's already difficult to make this objective. This would be even more subjective because I've listened to this song 166,414 times. Anyways, this is Artie Astor from B Sharp and C saying, until next time, keep it groovy.